How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Eric Carlson here. Again, I'm running for Congress in the 1st Congressional District in Illinois. I want to talk to you about something that really, really I've been thinking about as I go around door to door getting folks' signatures and getting to talk to people. And I've noticed in a lot of the neighborhoods that I've been to, there is a ton of the Ring doorbells and the different ones, different manufacturers and everything, but all with the cameras on and everything. And so it got me thinking about, something that kind of a lot of people don't look at it as. I don't think they look at the big picture where this is concerned, and that is I'm going to talk about surveillance state. So this will be video 19 in our problems and solutions. Now, a lot of people take comfort in this, and they think that they're keeping an eye on their neighborhood and it's helping and everything. But I want you to look at the downside, the opposite part too. You realize that anything that's hooked into the net can be tapped into, can be hacked, right? And government agencies, outside entities can all hack into this stuff and use your camera to look at your neighbors and stuff and to know what's going on and to surveil things. And for people who like their privacy, and there's a lot of people out here who do, it kind of strikes me as odd that they're willing to put all these cameras all over their neighborhood and allow basically themselves to live in a fishbowl for people outside the neighborhood to watch. And that's exactly what you're doing when you have these things. Now, the reason this came up to me was because I got a message from my sister the other day because I happened to be out canvassing, and a woman posted in on the Nextdoor app that she posted my picture ringing the doorbell on her ring doorbell, and has anyone seen this person and whatnot. And it's folks. Sometimes a guy going around ringing doorbells is just a guy going around ringing doorbells. I mean, there's a lot of borderline paranoia out there when it comes to this stuff. You really so I want to talk about some of that today. First of all is fear, and I talk about this. Now we already know folks who vote Democrat, most of them have been brought up their entire life being told by the Democrat Party that you should fear and there's somebody coming to get you and we have to protect you and it's only us looking out for you and all this other stuff, which is it's a crock. But they use fear to get you to. They manipulate everything you do. People are so scared. The way that I saw people reacting on the thing. Now, I live in Lamont, Illinois. There's not a whole lot of crime in Lamont, Illinois. There's no murders. It's people. You have to put things into perspective and stop worrying about the little stupid stuff. Um, in your neighborhood, you need to work together and stop being afraid. I don't have a ring doorbell on my house here. I don't have a ring doorbell. I have a dog, and the dog lets me know when somebody's around the house. And being a U.S. Army Ranger, I will handle the problem. Your ring doorbell isn't going to stop anybody from doing anything, and it's not going to prevent someone from coming in your house if they wanted to come in your house. That's just going to record whatever happens, which, you know. So anyway, I was actually checking out one of the Democrat candidates' websites, and she had posted. She's a state senator here in Illinois. She has been one for 19 years. So she's actually, all the problems that Illinois has had in this gerrymandering of the congressional map that we just did. She voted on that. Um, so she had a thing on her thing. It was a big announcement by the Illinois State Police that they finally put up a bunch of cameras, literally hundreds of cameras on the Dan Ryan Expressway, which you're familiar, 57 merges with 9094, and then you get the Dan Ryan from 95th into downtown. It's actually the busiest expressway in the world per volume number of vehicles standard. But the thing is that the Illinois State Police, they put out in these license plate readers, and now this captures everyone's license plate, knows where you're going into the city, when you're going there, all this other stuff. And it's supposed to, now what they said was it's supposed to help them solve crimes and shootings and carjackings. Now, the Chicago police have like a 25% murder solving rate. They clear about 25% of their case. So about 3/4 of the people who commit a murder in the city of Chicago get away with it. Um, So they took $12.5 million of your tax money to put these cameras on the expressway. Now, the gangbangers don't usually travel on the expressway. They might use it to get from one place to another. But now that you've just made a big announcement and told them that you have all these cameras, I would say they're probably not going to be on the expressway. They're going to take the side streets, which isn't very hard on the south side if you know the layout of the city. So this was called the Tamara Clayton Expressway Camera Act, and it was because a woman named Tamara Clayton was killed. She was shot on the Dan Ryan, and the murder still hasn't been solved. So they came up with this. It passed in 2019, and it went into effect on January 1st, 2020. That they were going to spend your money and put up all these useless cameras that are supposed to help. I don't know what percentage of crime. So the state police, as to show how effective their stuff was, right after they just put these cameras up, they announced in this press release, and I'll put a link to it on my Facebook page. They announced to the people of the state of Illinois that it led to them catching 3 juveniles in a carjacking the day after the carjacking happened. Then they were able to pick up the license plate. So three young kids out joyriding afterwards. So 3 juveniles they wound up catching at 55th in Michigan. So they catch the 3 juveniles. Now we know with Kim Fox, they're not going to be prosecuted. They're juveniles. They're just going to be kicked back. So your $12.5 million so far has gotten you absolutely nothing, and it won't. Now, the state of Illinois says that these cameras, quote, won't be used for petty crimes. So they're not going to get you for, a little speeding here and there and, stuff like that. That's what they say. Now, being Illinois, we all know that's a lie. And down the road, they're going to be doing that stuff. The same thing is that they're going to start doing with the toll roads here in Illinois. When they start timing your car from when you pass one point to another with your iPass, they're going to be able to start writing tickets. Say, state of Illinois is broke, folks. They don't have any money. They're going to nickel and dime you until everyone who can leave the state leaves the state. This stuff here, this is how it starts. Does anybody remember the seatbelt laws here in Illinois? We never used to have seatbelt laws. We were considered adults. We could make up our own mind. We did, we could fend for ourselves. We were Americans. And then the state came along and said, well, we need to have a seatbelt law because it's your safety and you should be scared because you might get hurt. So we go back to the fear thing. And people said, well, okay, that makes sense. And the state said, you know what? And we'll make it a law, but police cannot pull you over just because you don't have a seatbelt on. That was the original law. And that went for a couple years, 2 or 3 years. It went like that. And then they kind of slipped in there. Well, yeah, now you know what? The police can pull you over if they see that you're not wearing a seatbelt. That gives the police an excuse for more traffic stops. More police interactions leads to more problems between police and the community over stupid stuff, over somebody supposedly telling you they're worried about your safety, but actually just giving police excuse to write tickets to get money. That's what that is. And we all know it because you're never going to stop car crashes, and especially the way cars. Now here it is in Illinois. You have to have your seatbelt on in the state of Illinois. Yet I can get on a motorcycle and ride 70 miles an hour down the expressway with no helmet on and nothing around me. But they're worried about your safety. They just haven't figured out how to get the motorcycles yet. They keep trying to put helmet laws and everything in, but it's about freedom, folks. And it's not, if you want to wear the stuff and be safe and everything, and if you're scared to go outside of your house, that's on you. That's on you. But you can't regulate the American people to this extent. It's not your right. It's not your job if you are in government to do this to Americans. And this is all Americans. Everybody in the first district should be like, you spend our money on what? How about this? How about you actually get to doing your job, like arresting these people and prosecuting them, Kim Fox, and making all gang crimes, and this was one of the things that I brought up when I go to Washington, all gang crimes, if you are the member of a member of a gang and you commit a crime, it automatically should fall under RICO, and it will be organized crime or domestic terrorism, and you will go to Fed prison. You will not stay and go and play dominoes downstate with your buddies from the neighborhood in an Illinois State Penitentiary and hang out and watch TV until it's time to come back and commit more crimes. You're going to go to the Fed joint, and they're going to make a man out of you. So, gang crime equals Fed time. That's what we're doing. We're busting up the crime. Now, if you watch my my video on this before, I did an earlier video on criminal justice reform. We're giving gangbangers a chance to drop your flag, say, I'm out of the gang, and start becoming a productive member of society. Now, if you go back on your word and you commit a crime and you're in the gang, you're going to the Fed joint. That's what it is. The only way you stop this crime, folks, is by making it so costly to the person doing it that they don't even want to. But instead, what you do is you punish the populace. And you spy on the populace, and you make the populace jump through all these hoops, and you take the money from the populace to combat a small fraction of people that are causing the problems. How about you just crack down on the people causing the problems? And folks that are out there saying, defund the police, and that you need to, leave the poor downtrodden alone. They're just out there, feeling their young oats, or whatever excuse you're going to give to them this week. No. If you actually want, if the folks in the city of Chicago actually want your neighborhood safe, you need to partner up with the police and start cracking down. I mean, cracking down by cutting them off. No more of this neighborhood silence and all that BS. And then complain, why are our neighborhoods like this? It's self-evident, folks. You got to help yourself. You got to work with the police to help yourself. So, the back on the ring type doorbells. Again, I know everybody, they're the latest thing, and everybody's got to have them. And like 90% of the people have these cameras that show their street and their neighbor's house. So they're basically staring at your neighbor's house across the way. So you have your neighbor under 24/7 surveillance. I don't think your neighbor likes that. And he's got you under surveillance. And anybody can tap into this stuff. People, if you haven't learned this stuff yet, anything that is connected to the internet can be tapped into. Your conversations can be listened to. All these people with Alexas and all these other things with their talk, they're hooked to the internet. They can be hacked. Anything that is hooked to the internet can be used as a listening device. Your smart TVs, your computer camera on your computer. It can be turned on without you knowing it. You can be observed. A lot of people don't know. Your cell phones can be used as a listening device. How do you think? They busted a lot of mobsters on the East Coast with this stuff. Even though the guys would come in and shut their phone off, that didn't mean anything. As long as the battery was still in there, the feds could literally use it as a listening device. Now, I'm not saying being paranoid about this stuff, but if you're paranoid that the boogeyman is coming to get you out here on a side street in Lamont, you're okay. You're fine. You're going to be okay. There's nothing to worry about. So everyone just needs to stop being afraid across the board. Stop being afraid. Stop listening to these politicians and these idiots in the media that have to keep you scared in order to, if you're scared, you have to keep watching them on the media. And the politicians, if you're scared, you have to come to somebody to get protection, right? You have to listen to them because they're the only ones who know how to fix your problem. But they never seem to fix the problem. So do yourself a favor, check out some of my other videos, and you'll see my solutions to problems. So that's it for number 19, surveillance state. Don't be part of it, folks. Don't be part of it. Be an American. Don't be afraid. Again, I'm Eric Carlson, running for Congress in the 1st Congressional District of Illinois. Thank you.